This is Dave with cheapbooks.com. I am playing World of Tanks. This video is about crew members, specifically the driver. When I first started playing the game, I didn't really understand all the skills and the perks, and I made some mistakes, and I would like to correct them. So I'm going to show you what I think I did right and did wrong in terms of the crew, and if I decide they need to be changed, I'm going to show you how to do it. First of all, you have the common skills, repairs and firefighting. Those two can be managed using consumables. And my experience is that with consumables, usually you'll be fine. Although I have definitely used these before. There is no skill for first aid, so you might want to use firefighting, for example, as a skill for all of your crew, and have the large first aid kit on your tank to solve that issue. That's one of the mistakes that I think was made in the game. But I don't want to get into a big discussion about the repairs and firefighting. I want to get into more of a discussion about the specific specific skills, because I've discussed those in other videos. Excuse me, other crew videos. Right now I have clutch braking. I think that clutch braking is good. I find it useful. You're constantly spinning your tank around, so it's a useful skill to have. Camouflage, you need this active 100% of the time during all your games. Being able to hide gives you an advantage over the enemy. I try to have camouflage as frequently as possible. Smooth ride improves accuracy when firing on the move. This is obviously good for light tanks and medium tanks, or fast tanks, but for heavy tanks and maybe tank destroyers, it might not be so necessary. In fact, I would consider removing this for my tanks, because I don't think I fire on the move that often. This is a heavy tank, and I usually am sniping or close combat, so it really doesn't matter, and I'm probably going to remove it. Controlled impact decreases ramming damage and allows you to ram others. How often do you ram somebody or get rammed? I don't think it happens that often in the game. I doubt it even happens every once out of 10 games. In order to ram the enemy, you have to have a fast tank. A fast tank allows you to ram at your heart's delight. You can ram as many vehicles as you want. If you like to hunt SPG units, you might like this feature, because hunting SPG units usually means shooting at them and then ramming them before they can reload, because you both have to reload, and often they're going to be aimed right at you, so that ramming technique is important. However, in general, I would say that this feature doesn't come into play often enough in the game. Maybe once out of every 20 or 30 games, or perhaps more. I would say skip it, unless you have that special need fast tank like I described. Off-road driving reduces ground resistance when driving on soft and moderately soft terrain. Obviously, you are frequently driving your tank on different types of terrain. This means it will make you go faster, and faster acceleration and maneuverability. I would say you should strongly consider this, because driving is something that you frequently do during the game. It will come into play for every game. Preventative maintenance reduces the chance of engine fire. Engine fire is not that frequent. I don't have this on any of my tanks. I don't have problems with engine fire. Your engine might catch on fire once out of every 50 games, or once out of every 100 games, or maybe once out of every 500 games. And if you have the automatic fire extinguisher and you've got the firefighting skill with all your crew members, it really doesn't come into play very often. It's not a useful skill. So I would say skip it. In fact, engine fire usually occurs if you get shot from behind. So if you don't get shot from behind very often, it's a very low risk. Skip controlled impact, skip preventative maintenance for most tanks. Obviously, if you play a tank and you discover that you have a problem where it catches fire frequently, maybe you should get it. But when your crew moves into a different tank, it might not be useful anymore. So, what do I have? Clutch braking is okay. Camouflage definitely. Smooth ride is okay. I wish I had off-road driving. I would say that I would rather have perhaps off-road driving than have smooth ride. However, I'm not going to make any changes to this particular crew member. I think I'm fairly satisfied with the way he's configured. One of the changes that I would consider is putting in either repairs or firefighting. Repairs obviously would be far more important, because vehicles get damaged in every game and you want them to be repaired as frequently as possible. I'm obviously always using the repair kit. So my recommendation, what someone who is willing to pay would do, well, actually with this they are all skills, they're not perks, so it doesn't really matter which order you put them in, but I would say pick camouflage first, because you want the ability to stay hidden is very important in the game. I would say clutch braking is useful. You frequently are going to spin your tanks to chase after someone. You probably want that maneuverability when you're in combat. And I would say that firing on the move is for distance, shooting at a distance, when obviously a long distance, like across the map, how often does that happen? I don't think it happens often enough. So I would say pick these three and then add off-road driving as your fourth skill, and then maybe repairs as your fifth skill, or perhaps brothers in arms. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post them on this page.